Everyone, welcome back. In this video, we are going to study the notes of Karnataka First PUC Biology Question Bank, Chapter 13, Photosynthesis in Higher Plants. If you want the question bank or notes of other lessons, check the playlist of my channel. You can get from there. 1 mark question answers. First question, give the general equation for photosynthesis. And here is the equation for photosynthesis. Next question, name the active pigment involved in photosynthesis. Answer, chlorophyll. Next, name the first stable intermediate compound formed during Kelvin cycle. Answer, phosphoglyceric acid, PGA. What is the red drop effect? Answer, decrease in the rate of photosynthesis when only red light of longer wavelength is supplied is called red drop effect. What is Emerson's enchantment effect? Answer, it is the increase in the photosynthetic rate when red light of shorter and longer wavelengths are supplied intermittently. Define solarization. Answer, 2000 or 2500 foot candles of light intensity is optimum for photosynthesis. Higher intensity of sunlight causes photooxidation, bleaching of photosynthetic pigment. This is referred as solarization. What is photoionization of water? Answer, splitting of water using zinc +2 and chlorine minus to form protons, electrons and release of molecular oxygen. And here is the formula for that. Next, why do you regard Kelvin cycle as the C3 pathway? Answer, the first stable product formed during Kelvin cycle is phosphoglyceric acid, A3C compound. Hence, this cycle is called C3 pathway. Name the metallic ion associated with chlorophyll molecule. Answer, Mg2+, magnesium ion. Name the energy currency of the cell. Answer, ATP molecules. State Blackman's law of limiting factors. Answer, it states that whenever a reaction is conditioned to its rapidity by many separate factors, then the rate of the reaction depends on the slowest factor. What is the site of the dark reaction of photosynthesis? Answer, stroma of the chloroplast. What are C3 plants? Answer, C3 plants are those in which during dark reaction the stable compound formed will be is phosphoglyceric acid, a 3C compound. Name the first stable compound produced in CAM plants. Answer, oxaloacetic acid. Name the primary carbon dioxide acceptor in C4 plants. Answer, phosphoenol pyruvic acid. By looking at the plant externally, can you tell whether a plant is C3 or C4? Why and how? Answer, it is not possible to do so because only in the anatomy there is a difference between C3 and C4 plants. Next is 2 marks question answers. Draw a neat label diagram of chloroplast, and here is the diagram of chloroplast with its label parts. Next, what are the end products of light reaction of photosynthesis? Answer, the end products of light reaction are ATP and NADPH2. List any 4 differences between cyclic and non-cyclic photosynthesis. Cyclic involves only PSI, non-cyclic involves both PSI and PS2. Here, photolysis of water takes place. Here, photolysis of water does not take place. Only ATPs are synthesized. Assimilatory synthesized power ATPs and NADPH are synthesized. Here, the lost electrons from PS1 are returned to DILA. Here, the lost electron of PS1 return back to PS1 and PS2 does not return back. Next, give the schematic representation of a cyclic photophosphorylation. Here is the answer for that. Next, write any 4 differences between light and dark reaction of photosynthesis. Light reaction depends on light. Dark reaction is independent of light. It occurs in the grana of chloroplast. It occurs in stroma of chloroplast. Here, photolysis of water takes place. Here, photolysis of water does not take place. Here, carbon dioxide fixation does not take place. Here, carbon dioxide fixation takes place. Explain the law of limiting factors with an example. Answer. The law of limiting factors state that when a process is governed by a number of separate factors, the rate of the process is limited by the pace of the slowest factors. Photosynthesis is influenced by several factors such as carbon dioxide concentration, availability of water, sunlight, etc. Any of these factors may become a limiting factor at any one moment and may limit the rate of photosynthesis. Next, what is Rand's anatomy? Give two examples of plants with Rand's anatomy. Answer. The presence of a chlorine chromatous bundle sheet is known as Rand's anatomy. Example, sugarcane, maize, etc. By looking at which internal structure of a plant can you tell whether a plant is C3 or C4? Explain. Answer. C4 plants contain Rand's anatomy, which is absent in C3 plants. Even though only a few cells in a C4 plant carry out the biosynthetic Kelvin pathway, they are highly productive. Can you describe why? Answer. As carbon dioxide fixation is very effective in C4 plants and no accumulation of products in bundle sheet cells takes place, C4 plants are highly productive. Rubisco is an enzyme that acts both as carboxylase and an oxygenase. Why do you think Rubisco carries out more carboxylation in C4 plants? Answer. Bundle sheet cells are richly supplied with carbon dioxide. Under conditions of high carbon dioxide concentration, Rubisco functions only as carbonolase. Why is the color of a leaf kept in the dark frequently turns yellow or pale green? Which pigment do you think is more stable? Answer. The decolorization takes place due to degeneration of chlorophyll. Carotenoids are not affected by the absence of light and are more stable. Give comparison between the following: C3 and C4 pathways, cyclic and non-cyclic, photophosphorylation, anatomy of a leaf in C3 and C4 plant. C3 C4 plants possesses parenchymatous and sclerenchymatous bundle sheet, possesses chlorenchymatous bundle sheet, Kranz anatomy. Perform C3 and C4. Perform C3, perform C4. Primary carbon dioxide acceptor is RUBP. Primary carbon dioxide acceptor is PEP. First stable compound formed is PGA3C. First stable compound formed is oxaloacetic acid. Next, cyclic and non-cyclic. It involves PS1. It involves both PS1 and PS2. Here, photolysis of water takes place. Here, photolysis of the water does not take place. Only ATPs are synthesized. Assimilation synthesized powers ATP and NADPH are synthesized. Here, the lost electrons from PS1 are returned to DILA. Here, the lost electrons from PS1 return back to PS1 and PS2 does not return back. Next, C3 plants. Possesses parenchymatous or sclerenchymatous bundle sheet, typical granule chloroplast in mesophyll cells. Possesses chlorenchymatous bundle sheet, typical granule chloroplast in mesophyll cells but granule chloroplast in bundle sheet cells. Next is 5 marks question and answers. First, write the schematic representation of non-cyclic photophosphorylation. Answer. Non-cyclic photophosphorylation is also called Z-scheme electron transport. In this cycle, the electrons lost by chlorophyll pigment do not return to the same molecule. Both PS1 and PS2 are utilized. One molecule of ATP is formed, two molecules of NADPH2 are formed. One molecule of oxygen is formed, and here is the diagram for that. Next question. Give the schematic representation of Kelvin cycle C3 pathway. It occurs in grana of the chloroplast. It utilizes the assimilatory powers, that is ATP and NADPH2 produced in light reaction. And here is the equation for that. Photophosphorylation, carbon dioxide fixation, phosphorylation and reduction, regeneration and RUNP, glucose formation. To complete a Kelvin cycle, 18 ATPs and 12 NADPH2 molecules are required.